Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of AACRAO's Credential Chats, where we are joined by two awesome professionals, Carmen Bain, the Associate Dean for Academic Innovation in the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences at Iowa State University, along with Amy Mendee, the Director for Pathways to Innovation and Leadership Program in the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences at Iowa State University. Carmen and Amy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Noah, for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Well, and it's a real pleasure. And I think also just some major envy right off the bat with just your job titles, really cool job titles. And so maybe just as a by way of just kicking us off, Carmen, if you want to introduce us to just what is the, pathway to innovation leadership program at Iowa State University?
Yeah, sure. Well, the this program has been through a lot of iterations over the past, approximately 4 years, and it really came out of this notion that in our college we are really, really good at hands-on learning. Our students are very engaged in study abroad and undergraduate research and learning communities. And when you talk to our alum or you talk to our employers, they always feature the opportunities for our students to gain and be engaged in experiential learning as one of the most important things about what we have to offer. But even though we were really good at that, we noticed that it was still true that a lot of students would get to their senior year and go, "Oh, I wish I'd known about study abroad earlier." Or another big one is the freshman students who really want to do undergraduate research but don't know how to go about it. So one of our initial thoughts was we wanted to create more of a formal structure and to provide more guidance for students, a one-place shop to help them understand what are all the high-impact practices that you can get engaged in and how do you go about doing it. So that was one piece of our initial thinking. And then the other one was really we wanted to elevate students' opportunities to develop their skills related to innovation and leadership. So that was the initial thinking. And then it has evolved through one of the most important things I think we've done, which is a lot of engagement with administrators, students, faculty advisors to really better understand what do you want? What are you looking for? And that has evolved into now a program that Amy can talk about, but where we offer, I think it's 26 micro-credentials focused on specific skills and many other pieces of the program.
That's absolutely right. And I'll also just add a little bit on the program side of things that the Pathways program, as Carmen mentioned, we offer a lot of different high impact practices, those study abroad programs, research, internships, those opportunities, and also helping students connect what skills that they're learning and competencies that they're learning in those experiences, connect them to their resumes and cover letters and job interviews and internship applications. So a lot of our program was built around what we already have and how we can elevate those experiences to really support student success in the long run.
Yeah, and one of the first things we did was develop what's called a pathway planner. And what we wanted to do was sort of mimic a student's 4-year plan, but this is where students get to work with their mentors, both inside and outside the classroom, their academic advisor and others, to think about what are the different opportunities available to me through my 4 years. How can I start to be more intentional about what's available, when do I want to do it, and then most importantly, what are the specific skills that I can learn as a result of it? So the pathway planner is a really valuable tool, and our goal is 100% adoption among all our students, so that the students are both thinking about, oh, I want to do study abroad, and here's the skills that I can learn as a result of being engaged in study abroad, or these are the skills that I need to get the career that I want to be engaged in. what are the high impact practices I should get involved in to actually learn those skills? So that's another really important tool within the pathway program.
And I hear you both talking about high impact practices, and I'm guessing that's a capital H. And I would just came from the AAC&U conference where and that was just definitely in the water, the high impact practices, and this focus on experiential learning being one of just the things that we know is key to really great student outcomes. When they complete their post-secondary experience with us. And, it sounds like part of your intentionality with this pathway program at Iowa State University is that it's not about the badges. Like students aren't doing this in order to earn the badges, but rather that the credentialing is really about something that's both a summative thing at the end, but also during the formative stages of learning, a tool for you and the staff and faculty who are around you who support you to really be reflective and understand and make meaning of your learning experience.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that you mentioned reflection in there because that was in the beginning of our research, and we did lots of focus group interviews with our students, with our faculty and staff. And what's missing in this high impact practices, they're all doing it. But what was really missing was that reflection piece that students thinking about, okay, I've just done my study abroad program. Yes, the food was amazing in Rome, but what other things did I learn because of this experience? So the micro credentials really helped us as a tool to bring in that very critical piece to students' experiences, which is reflection. So a lot of students do reflect, and we are offering the most micro credentials on campus for a reason because we know how there's no one size fit all approach in higher education. So every student's needs and stories are different. So we want to create as much as individualization and possibility for students to create their own pathway in the program. So all of we have 7 experiential learning badges focused around 7 different high impact practices. So not all students have to complete all 26 micro credentials, but they choose based on their intentions and goals. And then they keep moving along the way by doing different workshops or other professional development opportunities. And of course, including that reflection piece in every aspect of the micro-credentialing.
And I would add, no, we're really happy you brought this up because Amy and I find this is something we have to come back to all the time because people get very fixated on the outcome, the badge. And for us, as Amy said, it's really the process. I mean, this really came out of, as Amy explained, the ability for students to not just do, but to reflect. And another piece of what they get to do through the process of earning a badge is reflect, but also get to practice and articulate what are the specific skills that I learned and how is that connected, or how can I demonstrate the value of my skill to an employer. So as part of the pathway programs, we offer mock interviews. So students get to, so we work with our career services office and they have a set of questions where students get to articulate what did I do? What did I learn? What are the skills? And then the students, when they talk about going to our career fair or going into interviews and being able to pull on and really demonstrate to an employer, this, when I did undergraduate research, I didn't just clean beakers, I learned how to, participate in a team and this is how I can bring that skill set to this job. And so the practice piece is really nice as well.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you also touch on there, like clearly, cleaning beakers is a valuable skill that people want to know before they hire you in a lab that you've already done that, and they're not going to have to teach you that. And like, there's going to be specific programs through which you could get recognized for your ability to clean beakers. One of the things that it sounds like you're talking about that I just want to clarify is that some of that a lot of your other recognitions are going to be kind of general to the sense that people aren't necessarily enrolling in a specific recognition opportunity on the academic side, that more there's multiple academic or co-curricular opportunities that could all be on-ramps to the different credentials that almost like across like from a records kind of mindset. It's almost like the micro credentials are cross-listed to where you could access it from this opportunity, or this opportunity.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So we have 7 different completion badges. So what does completion badge means is once students collect different micro-credentialing through different opportunities in the Pathways program, they can stack them throughout that process and receive the completion badge that represents this student has done these micro-credentials and really demonstrated innovation and leadership skill development in this area. So they can, if they want to, we have a student who is really committed to getting all 26 different micro-credentials because she wants them all and wants to showcase that skill. But we also hear a lot from students that micro-credentials help them showcase their commitment, their persistence in college, which also sends a very big message to recruiters and employers as well.
Mhm.
I'd love to ask, and I think we have time for at least one more question. I'd love to ask a follow-up question. You mentioned, the students, you mentioned employers. Thinking about faculty, is that kind of, I'm almost picturing the way you have it set up as like an affiliate model where faculty are not being told you need to incorporate these high impact practices into your curriculum and take on new things, but rather an invitation to, hey, are any of these things that we're credentialing, any of these high impact practices, things that you're already doing? And if so, would you like for your course or your program to be one of the access points for students where they can earn, badges for that?
Yeah, I that's a really important point. And actually we've been intentional not just in pathways, but at Iowa State University where the micro credentials are offered outside of the classroom. And so we have been working both with staff and faculty, whether it's the study abroad office or the faculty and staff who teach our career ready course or the orientation course, learning communities. So we have been doing a lot of outreach, a lot of individual outreach and collaborative work to talk specifically with people who are leading classes or judging competitions or undergraduate research to say, how can this program benefit you and your students? And I think people have really appreciated that because their faculty and staff are very busy. They don't feel like they need another thing. And I think the other thing that's been really important is we've done a lot of workshops and train the trainer and different panels so that folks can hear from other students and other faculty to hear how has it benefited them, so how can it benefit you?
I think we do have time for one more question. And you clearly, you said, I think you said you're 4 years deep into this work, tons of intentionality. And so for people who are already just having their minds blown with excitement over everything you've already accomplished at Iowa State, what do what's next on the roadmap, whether it's this spring or, a kind of longer term goal, but where are things going from here that you're excited about that you're willing to share with us?
Well, I can start. I think the outreach to faculty and staff is still really important. So we want to continue to get this programming, the planner, the badges embedded in different programming. I will also say this is really, really attractive to in my role as an administrator, I do a lot of work with alumni and donors, and this program has been incredibly attractive and has been an important vehicle for raising scholarship funds for our students to participate in high impact practices. So that's a piece that I want to continue to work on.
I'm excited about so many different things, so I'll just probably give a few categories. The one is that this program has not been possible if we didn't collaborate within the college, but also outside the college on campus. So we have, I think, over 40 collaborators who are active, who are testing our micro credentials to their courses, high impact practices, who really support us in terms of outreach and advocating for their students and offering workshops. And we also really like to hear from our students, involve them in our innovation process because it's not something said and done thing. So I'm excited about the changes we're going to make in the future as well. And another exciting thing is we worked with our game design major, which is a brand new major on campus, and we've worked with them throughout the summer to talk about how to gamify the Pathways program because we offer a lot and students sometimes get overwhelmed. Oh, there's 26 different micro-credentials, how I'm going to go about it. So the gamification was a really, really exciting collaboration and very successful collaboration over the summer. So I'm excited to continue that project with them to gamify the program and also using game-based teaching and learning strategies incorporated into high impact practices and career readiness skills to our programming and to the campus.
Oh, wow. And Amy, just in case anybody didn't hear you say that last part there and aren't aware of the difference, they can look it up after they watch. But there's a difference between gamification and game-based learning that is pretty profound and exciting. And that's really cool that, we are always using the ecosystem word on this show. And, hearing, the student impact, the, faculty across schools and colleges. I think this is only the second time I think that we've heard the Alumni Association brought up, as part of the very integrated ecosystem of how we're doing this. Student life and career services. There's just so much to be, admire and jealous of the work you're doing at Ohio State University. And Carmen and Amy, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to share it with AACRAO's Credential Chats.
Thank you, Noah.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, everybody, for taking the time and currency of your engagement to spend time with us and Carmen and Amy this week. And until next time, have a badge word of the week, everybody. So long.